So, I have tried to record this review 2 times, and for some reason, I just felt burned out. I have spent the last couple of days watching reviews about this movie. I've spent the last 2 days editing the reaction that you now see. And all I can say is this. I was so excited for this movie walking into it. I remember, I want to say a month ago, probably like late July, early August, I started talking to my friend Jay about this. Shout out to Jay, by the way. Jay Lux. And I was like, bro, I'm so excited for Weapons. I'm so hyped for it. And after the reactions came out, reviews, social media reactions came out, I did not watch any Weapons reviews before I saw this film. I didn't watch a single review. I didn't watch any reviews because I want to try going into, like, ending this year, going into next year, I'm going to try my best to do what everyone else does. I want to try to go in either half blind or fully blind. Half blind means I have read some social media reactions, watched athlete reactions, but that's pretty much it. Fully blind, I have no idea what the reception has been for this movie, okay? Hey Daisy. So, Weapons. What can I tell you? I walked out of this movie absolutely loving it. Now, Gabby hates this movie. Hates this movie for a couple reasons. There's a scene where two people are having fun, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean, right? They're having fun. It's like a 5-second scene, to be honest, but you know, to each their own. And I think the second thing she didn't like was she found it boring, whatever, you know. I love the film a lot. Is it the best horror film I've seen this year? I would say no. That's Bring Her Back. Bring Her Back to me is such a unique, great film, which I just realized editing last night, I was like, oh my god, I have not put on my active reaction for Bring Her Back. In fact, let me say this real quickly. I have so much content for you guys for the last 4 to 5 months, dating all the way back to April, and it's now August. We're halfway through. Oh my god, Daisy. We're almost through August, going into September. Yeah. And I have so much content for you guys, and I promise you, I know I've said it repeatedly, I will explain what happened to me, so many things, and I will. The main thing is, I wanted to get a haircut before I did that. I want to look better than this right now, okay? I have grown my hair. I literally, just real quickly, okay? I have spent the entire year from August 1st, from August 2nd until literally today, growing my entire hair out, right? I spent the last year and a couple of days growing this hair out, and I want to cut it all off, and a lot of things have happened in the last couple of months. But back to review. So, Weapons, all I will say is this. My biggest gripes with the film are the ending, 2 POVs, and a nitpick, right? Now, the big question people have asked me in person, is this film scary? Yes, it is. Okay? Now, as far as, is it, oh my god, like, where's to Bring Her Back? No, it's not. The film isn't a film to where, this is not a film to where from start to finish, you're on the edge of your seat the whole time. You are, but not because you're scared, just because you're like engaged with the story. You're like, oh, okay, what happened to these kids? What happened? You know? And in my active reaction, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. I'll give half away. Not spoiler, but my prediction, right? I had a prediction for this film walking in, and I was half right, half wrong, okay? Now, the ending of this film, I'm split on it. I'm very split on the ending of this film because on one hand, I think he did it for a specific reason. I think he ended the film the way he did because, again, from what I guessed, he's going to explain a lot of things in the next movie, right? Because as I told you in my active reaction, Zach Cregger is going to be making a sequel to this film, and the sequel will focus on a specific character, which we'll talk about in the spoiler section, okay? I think that he did that because it's like, hey, here's what you wanted. You want more? Watch the next film, because that's, I can guarantee you what's gonna happen is in the next film, it will add more to this film to where you're gonna see the aftermath of this film and the next film and get more out of it. I wouldn't minded if we got a 1 week, 1 month, or 1 year later thing to where 1 year later, 1 month, or 1 week later, oh, here's where everything's at. Here's what happened. Here's how the town is dealing with it. How certain people are dealing with what's going on, if that makes sense, right? My second negative for this film is, and I said this, I thought about this twice. I have seen this film twice, okay, just to be clear. In my second viewing of this film, I feel the same exact way. There's a specific moment of the film, for me, I don't speak for anybody else. I'm not speaking for Papa Cash, for Jaren, for Caleb, for Johnny, for anybody else but me, okay? So again, I'm not speaking for anybody else but me. And to me, the worst part about this film has to be 2 POV shots, or 2 POVs in general. The cop and the drug boy, right? James, I want to say Archer, but I don't remember. There's Justina, Archer, Paul, I think Marcus is the teacher, whatever, right? I think Paul was his name, the cop's guy's name, right? To me, if you cut out all the cop scenes in this film and a little bit of James's story in the film, again, for a specific reason, not cut out, trim it down significantly, because some stuff in the cop and the junkie story don't matter to the film, right? If you cut out half of the cop's story with a specific subplot for his character, it wouldn't make a difference, okay? Same thing goes for the drug guy. The junkie, drug boy, whatever you want to call him, James. His story, there's so much of it that could feel like filler to you, because it's like, okay, I don't care about him doing what he's doing in this film. It's honestly not a spoiler. It's not a spoiler if I tell you what he does in the film, because it won't matter to you, right? It has nothing to do with the overall plot. The main people that are involved with the plot are Justina and Josh Brolin's character, right? But I will say this right now, if you cut them out significantly, the cop and the junkie, I feel like the film's pacing would have been much better, okay? I understand you want to give the audience time to breathe, time to laugh because of how serious this film is. Similar to the issue you could have with Bring Her Back, because Bring Her Back is such an intense, heavy movie to watch, to where it's not a film that I would tell everybody to watch. Bring Her Back is not a film for everybody. Like, if you told me today, I can't watch a film, it's too scary, I respect that and hear you 100%, okay? But to me, Weapons, the 2 POVs could have been cut down a little bit, and I wish that we got to meet the narrator of the film, okay? I see that people have also said online that Justina's character, it should have been Alex as a lead instead of her. And I see that. I understand that, I do. It doesn't bother me though, because I think that if you focus on Alex's story for a specific reason instead of Justina, I feel like in a way, you get rid of what makes the film so good in my eyes. Because there's so many layers to Alex's story that you get answers you may not want. Because the best part about this film is it explains and answers some questions for you, but leaves others as well, right? You get A, B, and C, and D answered, but D, E, F, and G not answered, right? I also think too, everybody in this film has an excellent performance. Excellent, good performance, okay? This film will probably be nominated for some Oscars or Emmys, right? I will say that the film has some good jump scares that are not tropish, to where it's like, character, no, nope, it's not what happens. I'm not gonna tell you how it's set up, but I can tell you this much. If you're someone who is terrified of watching this film, you have one question. How many jump scares are there in this film? There's 4. There's 4 jump scares in this film. Again, I watched it twice. I counted them all one by one. I won't tell you who they're related to, how they come about. There's 4 jump scares in this film, right? Now, as far as the resolution to this film, the ending, where the kids were at the whole time, I won't spoil it for you. I won't spoil it for you. I promise. I won't spoil it for you at all. But I will say this right now, similar to what Podcast said, the film does a good job to where, because Justina is the way she is, you know, you can see her as annoying, you can hate the character overall, and I understand that. But to me, I saw her faults. Everyone in this film has faults, to be fair. But I appreciate the fact that she was so hell-bent on trying to help Alex in this film for a specific reason, that she did what she did in this film. Because she did what she did, it led to a better thing in the film, right? I won't give anything away, but let's just say her and the character are both doing their own thing in the film, and at one point they come into contact with each other. They come to a crossroads. They're like, hey, I had this theory. Hey, I know this goes. Gotcha, right? Again, without giving anything away, okay? Wong. I'm sorry if I say it. I know it as first name, but I can't think of it at the moment. But Wong in this film, the guy that plays Marcus, I believe. Again, if I'm wrong, right here, okay? He did an excellent job in this film. I loved his character so much because his character, and Gabby, if she watches it, she'll know this for a fact, he reminds me of my property manager. The entire film, the first time I saw it, I was like, you remind me of my property manager, of my old one, not my new one, my old one, right? I can't tell you why, but if you met him, you would know exactly what I mean by that, right? But Marcus in the film, I enjoyed his story because he is trying his hardest to help and take care of so many things as a principal of the school. And unfortunately, he does his job too well to where certain things happen for him in this film, okay? So, to me, this film is a good horror film. It's not the best, not the worst, but it's a good horror film. I would give Weapons a 9 out of 10. I would say that there's some great visuals in this film. It's unsettling at times. It's creepy as can be. And I love the fact that, again, we don't get all the answers we want from this film. So, as far as I can think of, that's all I need to talk about. All I want to talk about this film. Again, I love the way it was paced. I love the way the story was told. There are certain questions in this film. Even Zach Cregger himself has said specifically, some things don't make sense, and that's fine. As a fictional film, it won't make sense, you know? But I would go to bat for this film any day of the week, okay? So before I get to my spoiler section, Cash Nation, I want to know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Did you like this film? Did you hate this film? Why or why not? Did it scare you to death? Or did you walk out of it like, that was nothing, you know? As always, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more. Do yourselves a favor. Stick around for my spoiler section where it's all spoilers and much more. Again, you're awesome. See you on the next one. Peace. Alright, so we're in the spoiler section of the video. So how this gets, I didn't do a good job explaining it, I'll be honest. Watching my video back, my after reaction back, because I literally edited like 15 times. What happens is, in this film, this boy Alex and his family have their Aunt Gladys come over, right? Aunt Gladys is assumed that she has cancer. She's also a witch. So Aunt Gladys, while Alex is at school, decides to essentially put the parents in a trance state. What I mean by that is, when Alex comes home, his parents are at the dinner table, they're just sitting there doing nothing, right? And essentially, he comes home, sees his parents, what's going on, and Gladys decides to take over the household, right? And it's not working for her because it's not explained what she's doing to the parents at all. She just says, you know, hey, if you rat me out or go to the police, I will make your parents
hurt each other, kill each other, or eat each other, right? Or hurt themselves. So Alex is then forced to help her out by going to school every day and bringing home food of Campbell's soup. She then tells him she wants him to go to school, get an item from each of his classmates, and bring it home with him. He gets 15 items, they're all the names of the students, and that's what causes the kids to go missing. At 2:17 in the morning, Gladys activates her spell, and the kids all come out of their houses to his house, and they stay in the basement the entire time, okay? The kids are in a spell to where if you walk in the basement, they would see you, they would not interact with you, do anything to you, because again, they're in a trance state of mind. They're not there fully, okay? So what happens is, Justina follows Alex home, goes to the back of his house, she peeps through a window, sees two people on a couch. Doesn't know it's his parents, just sees two people on the couch. Then James goes to the house to basically rob it, right? He goes in the house on the 3rd floor, searches throughout the whole house. He sees the parents, doesn't know what's going on, stumbles into the basement, sees the kids, gets back up, gets out of the house, tries to call in the reward because he needs the money for drugs. And him and Alden Algarite, I'm sorry if I said his name wrong, Paul, whatever the cop's name is, him, the cop, essentially go back to the house. The cop gets put in a spell. So does James. They both get put in a spell. It's not until we get back to Justine, Josh Brolin's character, to where they decide to go in the house. Justina activates a trap by stepping on sand by accident, to where both a cop and James attack each of them, Justina and Josh Brolin. Essentially, we have a scene take place to where Alex decides to go over and let his parents go. And what I mean by that is, he steps over the sand, his parents come attacking him, because again, they're not his parents, they're just something else. They attack. All this is taking place. Justina kills a cop because she has no choice. Josh Brolin knocks out James. Alex upstairs decides to make a spell happen by grabbing a piece of the tree that Gladys has, wrapping her wig hair around it, putting his blood on it, grabbing the stick, breaking it. What does that do? That causes the kids to attack Gladys. Before that, however, before that happens, Josh Brolin, after he knocks out James, decides to go downstairs. He sees the kids. Back it up. As James and Josh Brolin are fighting, they get through the door of the basement. Josh Brolin's on the floor, looks over, sees the kids, knocks out James, and then goes downstairs to investigate. Tries to find his son, and instead finds the witch. She puts a spell on him to where he tries to kill Justina. As that's happening, Gladys is staying there just talking crap. That's when Alex activates his spell to release the kids onto her. And so we get this whole chase sequence to where she's running around the neighborhood, and eventually one girl tackles her to the ground. All the kids are on top of her, literally, and I don't mean this in an exaggerated way, I'm being for real when I say this, literally tears her apart, limb by limb, literally kills her. 14 kids kill her, right? Josh Brolin sees his son. Justina goes upstairs, sees Alex with his parents. And then we get the epilogue that Alex's parents are now somewhere else being fed soup. Alex is with his grandmother, a nice one. Some kids are starting to talk again, but others aren't. And that's in the film, okay? Also, Wong's character is killed. Wong essentially has a meeting with Gladys. He doesn't know she's evil, doesn't know she's a witch. give it to you straight. He says he'll have to call CPS. So she comes to his house. She makes a spell to where she gets a stick. She has a ribbon from his office wrapped around the stick. She basically then breaks it with her blood on it, of course, and it causes him to go into this state of rage to where he kills his boyfriend or husband by smashing his head into his head. After he gets up, she then wraps Justina's hair on the stick, does the same thing again, wraps it, breaks it. He goes after Justina. Chase sequence ensues. Justine is able to escape from that, and as she's trying to escape from that, Wong gets hit by a car and killed. Okay, that's pretty much all I can think of spoiler wise. There's a sequence to where Josh Brolin is in a nightmare sequence. He leaves his house. There's a AR-15 above his house. A lot of people have questions about that. Zach Cregger doesn't know what it means. Zach Cregger has specifically said he saw it in a dream, decided to put in the film. Okay, so there are 4 jump scares in this film. First one is with Justina. Well, it's not really a jump scare, but basically what happens is Justina's in her house. She hears a knocking on the door. As she hears the knocking, she essentially hears it once, you know, what's going on, and a loud knock ensues. She says, "What?" Opens the door. Josh Brolin paint her car witch. Okay? Second one, same scene with Josh Brolin to where, no. Justina then goes to bed. She's in a nightmare sequence to where she's in the school, walks in the classroom, it's in the trailer, sees the kids, wakes up, looks around, nobody's there. As she lays down, she sees Gladys on the ceiling smiling at her. Okay? Josh Brolin, nightmare sequence. He goes to his house, sees his son, stares at him. He basically looks down. As he's looking up, he sees Gladys. Third one, not really a jump scare, but it might creep you out. James is running to his tent. He's in the woods. He looks around. He sees Gladys in the distance and then runs to his tent. That's all it is, okay? Those are all the jump scares I remember. So as far as the 2 subplots, basically the cop is cheating on his wife with Justina. They have a fling, didn't care for it, doesn't matter to the story. James is trying to buy drugs, spend a whole couple minutes following him around, trying to steal from cars and everything else, trying to sell stuff off, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter until he gets to the house where the kids are at. So I am tired, got this review done. Thank you for watching. Y'all are awesome. Let me know in the future. Y'all are awesome.